brothers, they all got together one night in a basement and they said, we got to find a new way. Strike like lightning from the sky, just like fire from your eyes. Strike like a lightning from the sky, just like fire from your.
Fuck your life! Bing bong!
Brothers, they all got together one night in a basement and they said, we got to find a new way.
Hey, it's In My Opinion Day, everybody. Welcome to In My Opinion with me, David, and also a special guest from the All Things Wrestling podcast, Heel.Liz. What's going on, Liz?
Hi, Dave. How are you? Thank you for having me. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Thanks for agreeing to come on and watching that intro that had nothing to do with you at all. It was a Chicago versus New York thing that I made a long time ago. I know everybody else didn't want to wait 2 grueling minutes for me to finally get started. So yeah, welcome. Looks like Tony made it into the chat.
Ooh, Tony's here. What's up, Tony?
What's up, Tony? And okay, my computer's being real slow. But yeah, so welcome. First of all, for those who yeah, we're a little bit late. So for those who like don't know who Liz is, why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what you do?
Well, I work for a living, 9 to 5. No, but for us, I am a co-host for All Things Wrestling, as Dave was mentioning. Aside from that, I just like to create wrestling content on my Instagram page. Is how it all started. I'm slowly migrating over to TikTok. So basically, all I do is just try to create wrestling content. Anything wrestling, especially women's division, that I'm all in. So, but I mean, aside from that, I think that's pretty much it. I just recently started opening my YouTube channel, so I'm slowly getting into YouTube world. But so far, I'm very stepping into the Instagram wrestling community.
What's going on, Midwest Marks?
As a blogger.
Awesome. So what is your content consist of? Is it like comedy stuff, or is it?
I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I think just showing my personality, who I am. I mean, I find a lot of reels funny. Lately, I've been interacting a lot with reels. It mostly, of course, wrestling related. I like to just not show off, but show a lot of my, collection that I have, wrestling collection, wrestling t-shirt collection, things like that. So, but I think it's just mostly just showing myself and expressing myself with reels and with wrestling included. I know that, we don't really have a lot of female wrestling content creators. And the few that they are out there, they're extremely amazing and super beautiful. So I just kind of wanted to be part of that world. I was like, I love wrestling too. Like, I want to put myself out there and just show everybody, I'm like, girls like wrestling too, women like wrestling too. So I think that's awesome. Kind of how it all started.
When did you start liking wrestling?
Wrestling, my whole entire childhood, I've always watched it. I watched it religiously every week. I only stopped watching within a couple of years, somewhere in like 2012 or something like that, a little bit around that time. But aside from that, I've watched it religiously. to tell you specific episodes that I watched so many that wouldn't be able to remember specific episodes. I'm bad with dates and things like that. But I've been a wrestling fan my entire life. Pretty much, I think, yeah, since I was like 8 or 9 ish.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a while. I don't really think about how long it's been until I realized how old I was when I got into it, and I'm just like, sheesh, like it's been a minute. We've been through a couple eras with WWE.
We have, and God, I miss those days so much sometimes.
Oh, for
Um,
reals. The early 2000s were my favorite. That's where I
right?
kind of grew up in.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up in, early 2000s. So that's not my thing. Early 2000s, anything, music, wrestling, early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, that's when it was like in its heyday for me, at least for WWE. And I feel like I don't know, for the most part we kind of have that back with AEW. I don't know if you really watch AEW like that.
Yes,
No.
I love
Oh yeah.
AEW. I love AEW since the very beginning, since before they became AEW, and they were still trying to build their thing
Yeah.
and trying to get indies and just trying to get them up there and blow up a lot more in the US. So I've been following them for a minute. Luckily, I was able to attend a couple ROH shows before. Things like
Wow.
that. So I've been following AEW since the beginning. I love their talent. I like how they are bringing all of that. I think a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about them due to just them being different than what WWE is. But again, it's entertainment. WWE is, like I always say, I'm like, it's a novela. Like it's what it is. Like it's an ongoing novela. Like there's always drama going on. There's always something going
Mhm.
on there. Whether you like it or you don't like it, it's boring or it's not boring. It's a novela. It's an ongoing novela. Where you have AW and it's just, you get a lot of wrestling entertainment content. Like you actually get legit wrestling there. Something that how we all kind of grew up in and got into WWE is what we're getting with AW. So I
Mhm.
love both brands. I don't have much bad to say about them. I mean, we all have, we can agree to disagree on shit. But I think they're both different but great brands.
Since you've like come into the content creating thing, have you seen a lot of negativity more than positivity about things?
Absolutely.
So,
Even more when AEW started like really blowing up. I know at first everybody was wanting to go to other shows, but then the fact that I think it was just seeing that they had consistent fans. I started seeing a lot of people just bad mouthing either one the fans or to the brand.
yeah.
And it's just crazy. I'm just like, it's fucking wrestling, bro. It's wrestling. Like it's not that serious. Like, just enjoy the content. Everybody's busting their ass to get out there. I mean, it's the same thing as, as us, like what we do. You can't be like, oh, well, there's one podcast that does wrestling, so nobody else can do it.
Right.
Like things like that, or content creators on Instagram, on TikTok, like you can't say, oh, you can't do that because someone else is doing it. So everybody brings in their own style, their own, charisma and things like that. But so far, I did notice a lot of people giving that negative type of thing to AEW, and which sucks because they have great talent. A lot of people are not giving them a chance because of what they're seeing
No.
online. And I was like, dude, like y'all gotta give them a chance for you to even have an opinion towards it.
It's
Um,
like, yeah, I agree with that. It's like they're a 3-year-old company as compared to a 40-year-old company. And it's the
and
same thing that's everybody else has been saying for since their, conception. It's like, come on, guys, give it some time. Um, after a while, it'll get it'll get the way that you want it to be, hopefully. Or if you don't like it, then don't watch it. Simple as
exactly.
that.
I think right now they're just AWs, like you said, it's brand new. 3 years going on to 4. All they're building right now is yes, dream matches. Matches that we never thought that we would able to see. They're working off of that, but I mean, without time, maybe they'll continue what they're doing now and it'll work out for them. Maybe it's not going to work out for them and they go a different route. But at the end of the day, I feel like they are starting
Yeah.
and there's many people that are blowing up just from being there, and I feel like they should be given the opportunity as well. I know that there's a lot of it, vice versa too. You see a lot of AEW fans that are not WWE fans. You know, so it goes both ways. But I mean, at least with WWE, you know, you've been there, done that. You know, okay, you like the AEW brand, you know, whatever floats your boat, you know. But then there's other people that just grew up on a certain brand and no longer want to. You know,
they don't want to expand out.
yeah, exactly. See, and I used to be like that, but it wasn't because I didn't want to. It's just that I didn't know brands. So I didn't know indie brands, like nothing like that, until I actually started getting into the Instagram wrestling community.
Right. Like New Japan and all that. And
exactly. I was like, I never knew who New Japan, like that brand. I just never knew it at all. So for me, I kind of knew, I think like the only thing that I knew was like Lucha Underground. So that's what I did. I did know that because it's here, like it's, you know, right around the corner. Not literally, but you know, it's here, it's close by. So I kind of knew about Lucha Underground, but I didn't know any other indie brand. I think there was one other brand that I knew that no longer does shows, and I wish they did because I never got to attend any, which was Bar Wrestling. But aside from that, I didn't know any other shows, and I was like, oh, but once I did, it changed my life completely, because as you guys see, I'm always at wrestling shows now.
They're great, right?
Yes, they're amazing. It's just different. It's a completely different atmosphere than when you go to, you know, a WWE show. I haven't been to an AEW show, so I don't know the vibe yet. But I'm pretty sure it's freaking insane.
Awesome.
But indie shows are so different, so different. And even one from another brand, even those are different. Like you have some that are, you know, family friendly, and then you have some that are hardcore, which are my favorite. Yeah. But I don't know. Wrestling is just amazing. I feel like everybody should just take the time to appreciate it more, especially in this time. Like everyone says, this is the best time to be a wrestling fan because there's so many brands, so many promotions, and so many great athletes. Some that haven't even made it to AEW or WWE right now. Hopefully they do one day. But there's so many out there. It's just crazy. I love wrestling. Let's appreciate it.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. And I feel like not only is it a great time to be a wrestling fan, but it's also a great time to be a wrestler because, you know, you get people that lose their jobs, unfortunately. And I mean, back in the day, like we were just talking about, WWE was it. You know, it was either WWE or you were irrelevant for the rest of the time. You were just that question everybody
still think that way.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. And it's like you were just that question everybody asked, like, where's this dude been? You know? Like, and now with the internet and television and streaming services, people don't really, it doesn't seem like people are having a lack of work. Speaking of which, of work, in AEW, Stu Grayson just couldn't make a deal with Tony Khan earlier today. So now he has been, I don't want to say released, but basically he let his contract expire and now he's gone. So I kind of wanted to get your take on that.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't expect that. When I seen it, I was like, and I think you had shared it too, right, on the chat. That I didn't expect it. Especially like not coming into terms. Like, what are you not coming into terms with? Is the question. Like, sir, I mean, two sirs, right? But what are you not coming into? Is it money? Is it some type of policy? Is it something that he wants to do and you're not letting him do? Like, what exactly is going on? So, I mean, we already had, was it Cody leave, and now, you know, you have someone else that it could be in the possible eye of WWE. So there goes another snag, just how Tony Khan was doing with WWE, snatching people that were getting released. I mean, you never know. It can go the other way around. Who knows? Especially, but the Dark Order, that's a huge hit for the Dark Order.
that I think that's I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier today about the whole thing, and if you watch Being the Elite, their YouTube show behind the scenes, Dark Order's like heavy on that, and I gotta say, I don't think I was ever really a Stu Grayson guy. I
No.
mean, no, I mean, granted, he was one of the guys that was like one of the first, right? But it's like I maybe I'm starting to think maybe it was more of a money thing, where it was either Tony Khan didn't want to pay him this amount of money because why would I want to do that when I need to save money to pay like somebody like Bryan Danielson or CM Punk? It's like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody's really jumping out of their seat for a Stu Grayson match.
That's true. I mean, not as a singles competitor. I mean, probably just all together, everybody would love to see it. Not love, but would like to see it. Like to see them out together. But I don't know. I liked him. I really did like him. I think he added his. I don't know. It's just not. I feel like they're just breaking up at this point. Because I don't see anyone else. I mean, do you see anybody else trying to replace it? Because I don't think they're going to want to replace. They've been, I mean, Adam Page was they were trying to get him just to be there, but not part of the Dark Order. So I don't think they're adding on members to the Dark Order.
No, I think
are we going to be losing them? I mean, one by one, but I mean, I don't know. That it sucks. It's a bummer. I think it's just the changes. We don't like changes in teams. Is Anna Jay still with Dark Order?
Yeah.
She's still with Dark Order, right? Damn, that's so crazy. That I don't know. Honestly, that's a bummer. It's a bummer they couldn't come into terms. If it was money wise, it sucks. If they tell you I can't pay you what you're asking me for, because I don't think that I should be paying you that. Because that's I wouldn't want to hear that either.
No, yeah.
But damn, honestly, like that for me, I don't know how I feel about it personally, because I don't watch a lot of AEW Dark. I watch mostly Dynamite and Rampage. I watch Dark here and there. That's why I'm just like, okay, on a regular basis show, it doesn't affect as much. But if they're a constant factor in AEW Dark, then it is going to affect their match. You're going to start seeing different matches, or start seeing someone else being replacing the Dark Order sometime soon. Well,
it's like almost at this point, it's like, oh, well, sorry, Stu, we already got a bald bearded guy in the Dark Order, John Silver.
Mm-hmm. And he is out there more than Stu.
Yeah. It's like, and plus he's more entertaining. He's kind of funny, I don't know. Okay. Like, a character goes a long way with me if you can be funny.
That's true. I think you just make more of an impact when you're funnier.
Mm-hmm. Look at Orange
Cassidy. You can switch it on and off. It's easy to be the bad guy, I guess you can say. You can't be a good bad guy. But it's not easy to be the funny. Like, to be funny out there and being able to actually make people enjoy your segments. It takes somebody actually talented to be able to do that. Because I mean, we even BS on our group chat, and we're like, okay, this was boring. This was so we'd be talking shit on there. So y'all be talking shit. I just listen. But nah. But yeah. So I mean, I think having the ability to be able to have people enjoy your segments, even if it's just for a second. And that alone is already memorable within your whole entire group. If you can stand out for your whole entire group, chances are you're able to move higher. And if not alone at a certain point. So right. I mean, him alone, I think that'd be funny. That'd be crazy. He's so small.
I know, he's so short.
Like,
But
oh my
I
God.
like your question, or well, your I mean, it does pose like that question is like, what's up with Dark Order? Do you think it's time for them to finally split up? I mean, after Brody Lee died, I
Sorry.
feel like
They weren't the
kind of
same
lost it.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah. They weren't the same after he passed, and it sucks. I feel like they should have maybe pushed their entire group. At least maybe they tried vaccine and it just didn't. They were like, oh well, we're not trying to put you guys out there yet or right now or whatever the case may be. Who knows? I don't know. I wasn't back there, I wasn't creative, but I feel like after Brody there should have been like something that they were trying to prove and
Mm.
push themselves a lot more. And I feel like they settled, and then they were just kind of being pushed back by all this new talent. And now they're just in the background, like, yeah, you guys are veterans because y'all been here since it all started. But what is there to showcase for it
Hmm.
by now?
Hmm. Oh yeah, you're right.
But damn, but that's true. Damn, that's so crazy. Imagine they do break up. That'd be crazy because, like we said, they've been there since the beginning. They've been there since the
Literally.
beginning.
Hmm.
Damn, that's crazy. But damn, the one question. Okay, because I know you guys keep asking this.
Okay.
Edge and Damian Priest. I'm still trying to figure them out. And I was watching them this morning because I missed yesterday's show. I was watching them. I was watching everybody live and stuff, and the watch along. But I couldn't see what y'all were watching because I'm in the West Coast. I don't get things till 8 p.m., which is like 11 p.m. for you guys. So you guys have already long gone, had stopped watching it. So I ended up not catching it, and I was watching it this morning, and I'm still trying to understand, like, are we not liking this Edge because he's not supposed to be heel, or like he was supposed to come back and be the good guy? Like, I don't know, is because I feel like now I feel like in a split second everybody turned his back on him out of nowhere, started getting booed. And then here comes along Damian Priest, and now he's getting booed while he was being cheered just in the beginning of the year or last year, for Royal Rumble and then going into Mania and like all that good stuff with Bunny. But like, are we mad because they're heels together? Because I feel like they haven't really done anything aside from now with the whole AJ Styles thing.
That's a question for you know what? I feel like it's just that it. I don't know. That's a good question. Why we don't like them? I know there's a reason. I know there's a
I mean,
reason. I
aside
think it's
from
just because it's the
Tags not
same
liking
fucking.
Edge, but aside from him, he doesn't like anybody.
Let me see. Kenny says, "I like it for me. I don't get the whole priest thing."
Priest thing.
Oh, he likes it, but he doesn't get
Yeah.
priest.
Okay.
And
So
then
you
Lay
like
says,
that Edge? You like that Edge got turned heel, but don't like that Priest got added on? I always boo Edge. Dude, honestly, when he came out with the Brood song at SummerSlam, I did freak out because that was the first time that we had all seen it, or heard it
he
in a
was
minute, and it was my first time seeing him live because he was entitled, and I don't remember, he starts flipping out. That's true. Talking about flipping out, KO. That to me, I'm like, is he turning into a whole Sami Zayn? Are we doing this? Are we turning them besties because they're going crazy?
Mm,
It's like Sami Zayn all over again.
I'm not gonna lie, I do like that Ezekiel thing though.
Same. I love Ezekiel and
Yeah.
Elias and whatever his dad's name is. What was it? Somebody memed the shit out of it.
Oh my god.
Somebody had a meme that like, what was the name? Some freaking weird ass name, and it was like Elias with like an old man beard, like white and gray and stuff. Oh, I have to find that meme again. I have to find it somewhere in the chat. But I don't know. I feel like that KO is gonna go with Sami Zayn again. I feel like they're gonna end up together again, especially with their whole trying to do this whole crazy edge, like how he just flipped out this past Monday. Like I was like, okay, Sami Zayn, let's go. What do you think
I would like
about
that.
it? What do you think about where do you think they're going with that?
I don't know exactly where they're gonna go with it. I hope that eventually that it leads to a tag team, because let's be honest, they're lacking in the tag team division as far as like people to come on. I would love to see a KO versus Sami Zayn, and or not versus, but KO and Sami Zayn together. I mean, it makes sense. They're both Canadian. They're both
They were best friends.
they're best friends. You know, they got a lot of history together, and I would love to see that. And they're both having, like you said, they're going crazy. You know, with Sami Zayn with his conspiracies, KO with his Ezekiel mess, and maybe they could be like a. I hope it's not like a backstage thing where they become like
I know.
backstage detectives. You know what I mean? Because I hate that.
Like
I would
like
much.
Breezango did.
Yeah,
when they were doing that
the
segment.
police. Yeah,
The fashion
one
police.
day is H.
Kenny
Oh,
wants
God.
Roman on 24/7. LOL.
Oh God,
He
shots
does.
fired.
Kenny loves Roman.
But to answer your previous question about Edge, I just think it's just because all of a sudden he became this. I've never really liked Edge even as a kid, though.
Really, I liked his segments with Lita. They were fucking crazy. They were wild. I shouldn't have been watching that at 13 years old.
Yeah,
But I did, and I liked it.
that live sex celebration, man. I don't know what made my parents not come into the room and say like, what the hell are you watching? Yeah. Like, but they had me watch it, and hey, I came out just fine from it, honestly.
So we think. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Damn, no. I was okay with I like Edge. I've always liked Edge, but I think it was more because I saw him as as a veteran, like, he's been there. He was there when I was growing up, things like that. But against his feud with John Cena, I hated him. I was like, no, stop. And then when he switched the belt to the the rated R spinner, I was like, no, I don't like you even more now. Now I can appreciate that belt as a collection belt, but I honestly, me watching it this morning, I was seeing Edge and I was like, I don't think we should have gotten heel Edge. I don't think so. Maybe in the future, but I feel like he wasn't at that point. He came back. He was like, that it was that miracle that, he was able to get cleared, after, was it 8+ years, things like that. So I'm just like, okay, I was like, all right, I'm like, I want to see him back, do his thing, enjoy it. And it was like, okay, enjoy it. And now we're going to turn you heel, which, I mean, it's what he's always been. But I don't know. I feel like now older, I didn't want to see that. I kind of just wanted to see him just live his best.
Like his character now. I don't know what it is. Like, I think that's why everybody has a problem with it. It's just because, okay, so Undertaker retired so that you could steal his fucking gimmick.
That's what didn't he mock that on his promo for this Sunday or something?
Probably.
Last week. I think he mocked it or something. I thought people were saying that. He was like, that I forgot I saw the clip on IG this morning, and I was like, oh, he was, and that's when I remembered. I was like, oh, I didn't watch Raw, so
yeah.
But he mocked the whole, you guys think I'm doing all of this because Taker and all of that, and it's like I didn't see it, but now I see it.
It's like, oh my God, he's self-aware.
And now he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I know. And now he's going to do it on purpose.
That's the best type of petty. I like that. I like that type of petty. That I could get behind with. I'm just I don't know. Like I just I like those when they just throw salt in the wound.
So that
It just
everybody gets even more mad. Everybody goes to Twitter. By the way, you said something to me. You said, I didn't even know I had a Twitter. So thank you for tagging me in it. And I'm like, you should just stay away because it is the worst cesspool of negativity you will
Oh
ever be
my
a
god! I
part of.
see. So that is the reason. Okay, so I had a Twitter previously before back then, like ages ago. This was like before. This was back in my MySpace days. Like I instead of everybody jumped to Facebook, I jumped to Twitter. But eventually I stopped being on Twitter. I don't know what the hell happened to that account. Somewhere there, just but I don't know what happened to it. I couldn't log back into it. Eventually I was just like, okay, let me make a new Twitter, but I made it and I was just like, well, I'm never on this thing, so I was like, whatever, never did anything. I deleted all like the retweet things that I had, and eventually I think I was like retweeting John Cena so much that he followed me back, and I was like, oh my god. So
Okay.
I had everybody, like I was like, okay, have them unfollow me, so he's the only one that followed me. And that's basically how I actually forgot about it. After he followed me, I was like, oh my god, but I never went back on it. And I had already deleted everything. And then when you tagged me on it, I had gotten a notification. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, Twitter? I was like, I even have a Twitter. I was like, I still have Twitter. I was like, damn. But I know that I went on it recently because I had changed my little icon thing, but I had totally spaced out on it. And then I always see one of my friends on posting his tweets and stuff. And I'm like, I need to go on Twitter. And I had to mention it to somebody in the wrestling community. They're like, don't go on Twitter. They're like,
Yeah.
it's the worst. You're like that. He's like, if you see negative posts on Instagram, you will see a lot worse on Twitter. And I'm just like, why? I was like, no. So that's the reason why haven't really gone on it. And I had totally forgot about it till like you tagged me, and I was just like, holy shit. I was like, I have Twitter, and I was like, should I scroll through this? I ended up not doing anything. I followed you back, retweeted, and
Great.
stuff, but I haven't really been on it since this morning.
That's all you need to do. Just retweet stuff the whole time.
And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I think I should start using this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
should I start? I'm like, what am I gonna write? Like, I'm at work.
Yeah. Just never have an opinion about anything.
I know, I heard people destroy you for having your own opinion. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all crazy. Funny fact. Edge didn't want that rated R spinner. He had a different design for the title, but WWE went with the one. Then no way. They did it because John Cena ended up getting his title back, right? After Edge. Was it
Man, that was a long
Was it
time
John Cena
ago.
after Edge? Yeah, I think he ended up. Yeah, I think he ended up getting his title back. So I think, and they kept that spinner belt for a long ass minute. So I think that's why they didn't, because they were like, well, we're just gonna give it back to Cena anyways. But yeah, Twitter.
That belt should have changed up as soon as John Cena lost it like the first time. I know everybody
But
likes
I
it
felt
because of
like
the
people were
nostalgia
playing
view.
with it. Yeah, now it's nostalgic because that was the era at that time, like when people even had spinners on their wheels. Um, so
Right.
I mean, I understand. It did stay for a very long time, longer than I expected it to stay.
Yeah.
But I
mean-
really loved it. I have the little mini version here somewhere.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
It's like yeah.
it's just a little mini. I found this at a wrestling indie show. There was a stand, and this is what I do just all day, just spin it. It's like the best. Imagine having like the big thing. I need to get the big one. Okay. Anyway,
The actual belt?
Yes, I don't have it. I don't have it.
I mean, that's cool.
I would have thought that it would have been my first belt or any John Cena signature belt, but no, I don't have any.
You could have got the US one.
I've been wanting to. Okay, so when I wanted to get it recently, because I didn't know. Okay, so I didn't start collecting belts till like recently, not that long ago, a couple years ago, and I only have 4 so far. But good evening, Alex. But when I got my first belt, really wanted the Raw Women's Championship. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the women's, and then after that, get the spinner and things like that. It's not how it happened. It took me, I think, like after my Raw Women's Championship, it took me like 3 years to get another title. I had that one. I've been having the women's championship, have carried it from here to New York, in my luggage and stuff, like when I go to shows. But that spinner one, they had it. I know they had it back then, but when I was looking at the Raw Women's Championship, I was like, okay, no, Raw. I'm gonna get this one. I was huge on the women's division, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this one, then I'll get it. When they brought it back this past Christmas, it was impossible for me to get it. It was sold out. I was just like, damn, I think they put it on sale twice. Right now you can find it. I just haven't purchased any belts. But when I wanted it, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get it, because I tend to sit on it before I make the big purchase. I was like, oh, it's a lot of money,
And we're talking a big purchase.
Exactly. Like this is like over $400.
Like $700.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I'm dying for that Randy Orton one. It's like $500, $600. I'm just like, oh, one day. Like rubbing the screen. I'm just kidding. I'm like, oh, come on, Jeannie. No, I'm just playing. But no, those belts are expensive, but that's the reason why I didn't get it in December. But for Christmas is how I ended up getting my heavyweight title. So it wasn't a bad of a trade.
What would you say out of all the titles is your favorite? And then we'll go over to Lay's question.
Ooh, from all my titles, well, of course, the heavyweight. I think that one is like the most beautiful one. Second favorite would be the SmackDown Women's Championship. I think that blue just looks gorgeous. The blue, wow. It looks prettier in person. The Raw, maybe because I'm over it. Like I said, I had it for 3 years before my next title. So I'm like completely over it. The Universal title, it has a meaning to it on why I got it. But it wasn't one of my favorite ones.
Well, which one do you have?
I have the blue Universal title.
Okay.
And then I have the WWE heavyweight title, not the WCW version. I have the WWE version of it. Because there's two different versions of it. One has a WCW logo on it, and then the other one actually has the WWE logo on it. I have the WWE version of it. And then I have the Raw and SmackDown women's title. I think the Raw one is like the 2016 version.
Wow. So, okay, you got a pretty good collection going on.
Just a little bit.
So yeah, Lay wants to know what's your favorite Edge match?
What's my favorite Edge match? My favorite Edge match. I think it would be any ladder matches. I love Edge on ladder matches. That hands down. And I mean, of course, we all know his iconic spear, off of the ladder. So for me, honestly, it's just any ladder match. Same as the Hardy Boys, it would be any ladder match. But
mine would be that too. It was going to be that triple threat tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Basically, and then second one, just because of it being my first ever pay-per-view, my parents actually bought for me, was WrestleMania 21, the first Money in the Bank.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's not just because Edge was in it, I think.
It wasn't much because you wanted it. It was because he was just happened to be in it. Damn. Is that your favorite WrestleMania?
Yeah, I would say it's because, like I said, it's the first one I've ever seen live. So it's like, yeah, that's a pretty top. That's probably the top 5, I would say. So yeah, Toe comes in, and of course, wants blood.
Such a hater. He's a hater.
How come Liz doesn't tell people the truth about how she really doesn't like Cena?
Because I love Cena. I don't like him. I love him.
Oh,
Hello, look at this. Look at I have a whole section, a whole Cena section here.
oh my God, you do. I don't know why I just noticed that.
I actually made this. I made that dress with the
That's a
for my
wait a
that was
minute.
my this was my summer slam look.
That's a dress.
That's a dress I made. Oh, hold on. Let me disconnect y'all from all of this. I'll show you guys.
Oh,
Let me turn on my light. But this is a dress.
no way.
So cute. So I actually custom made that for this was my summer slam look. So that's why you guys always see this in the background.
Wow.
For that reason, because I'm like obsessed with it and I will never wear it again. Because John Cena was breathing in the same arena the last time I wore that. So
He was.
we were breathing the same air. So you really think I'm gonna wear that
Oh,
again? No.
makes sense. Oh,
And
Toe
that's actually
says.
how I got my universal title too.
Toe says you got to make one for Kenny.
We gotta make what?
You got to make a dress for Kenny.
We gotta make. Oh hell yeah! Hey, let me get Kenny's measurements. Let's go.
Yeah.
But that was actually one of my first projects on how I got my wrestling page started. So that's actually what kind of kept me going. I posted it and a lot of
Wow.
people liked it, and I was just like, oh my god! I'm like. I'm like, I didn't think so because everybody just likes wrestling content. Like I didn't think anybody would even care about an outfit and stuff like that. And that's just how everything kind of came to be. That's the start of Heel.Liz right there.
That's kind of cool how it has like multiple meanings
Oh
instead of
yeah,
just
definitely.
I like
Yeah,
John Cena.
it's not just standing there. It has a lot
Yeah.
of meaning. So that's why
And
I just
Toe seems to like it because he has emojis matching the colors.
oh hell yeah. That's what I noticed. We're
Yeah,
missing the green heart on there, toe.
that's all right. He seems to like it.
He
Um,
loves it so much it makes him sick.
yeah, yeah.
I got you, Toe. I understand your language. I got you.
Um, so yeah, oh crap. What would you say like what would be your dream match as far as like because you say you've been watching it since you were 8. Is there ever a match that you were thinking of when you were a kid that you wish would have happened and just didn't?
um, for me, younger me would probably say younger me to present wrestling. Um, damn, I don't know. It's because mm, there's a couple people that I wish I could have seen with one. Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was a big part of my childhood too. Um, Especially D Generation X. I was obsessed with DX. The second time they came around, of course, I wasn't watching it when China was still with them.
Right.
I started watching them the second time, like back in like 2006 era. I think it was 2006 when
Yeah.
they had to go
Makes
be
sense.
with McMahon's and the Spirit Squad and all of that. So me personally, I think I would say it would maybe be D Generation X with I think now damn, I don't know. There's great superstars now, but I don't damn, that's so hard. It's hard because so many people in the past that I would love to see with future nows.
Mm.
That didn't happen back then. I feel like we got a lot of matches. And at least a lot of people that I knew at the moment. Like I said, I didn't know a lot of people that were coming in and all of that stuff because they were coming from indies and stuff. So I didn't know that. But as far as anything that I wanted, I feel I kind of got from wrestling at that time.
Okay.
But now if I think about it, I'm just like, okay, I would love to have seen maybe particular person of that time with a person of our time now. So many dream matches, but I think overall would probably be the women's division. For me, huge, and I know that it's been put out there several times. But I think now would be for sure anywhere between Trish. I know a lot of people go with Lita, but Trish with Charlotte in a triple threat with um, Rhea Ripley. I don't know why. I would love to see that. I huge Charlotte fan. A lot of people hate her. But I love her. I love her. I love her style. I love how grimy she could be, and she owns that shit. And I love it. I'm like, she knows who her father is and lives up to the fucking reputation. Like, like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, I'm the Nature Boy's daughter, and so I'm a huge fan, and I grew up on Trish. So Trish has always been I'm wearing my Trish Stratus shirt. I just realized it. But yeah, so Trish would definitely be the one person that I would love to see her come back. As far as the women's division at her time, she wrestled anybody that was there. She did her thing. But I wish we had the talent that we have now in the women's division back then, and especially large, like how we have so many good females wrestlers. So I think for sure Trish would be my top list with just almost anyone in the roster, in the women's roster right now. There's a couple people I wouldn't, but most like for me, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. That is my dream match, and I hope one day I can get it. Maybe on 2K, Kenny.
Yeah.
Because I would love Trish Stratus, but how Trish was back then, like Trish of that era with Charlotte and Rhea of this era, especially right now that Rhea's going heel. I'm liking these WWE live events that people are recording and posting. She's still doing heel shit, so I'm just like, I feel like this is her time. This is her time. I hope
some
so.
would say she had her time, and it's getting squandered because of her going up to the main roster.
It could. She was great in NXT. I feel like she could have been greater. That's why I think a lot of people expected a lot from her coming into the main roster, especially her being so tall and being able to match up to Charlotte. Everybody knows Charlotte is, hella tall. She's 5'10", 5'11", where everyone else is, a lot shorter than that. Female-wise, like average size, you don't really see them, you don't see females that tall. So Finn and HBK, hell yeah. Yeah.
That would have been good. Oh, speaking of which,
Nakamura.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that would have been good too. That's like, are we talking HBK from early 2000s?
We could before going to Triple H and all of that. Before that, yes,
okay.
Yes, definitely. I could see that. Hell yeah, Mr. WrestleMania. Yeah, I can see that. Damn, that'd be dope. That'd be WWE. Come on, y'all could do everything. Turn back time. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. I don't care if it's holographic.
You're picking all of us. For real. Oh my God, talking about that. You know how they do those holographic shit on TV? How do they not do that in person?
How did they not do that in person?
Yeah. I know you have all these laser tech shits that, you can do shit like that in person. I mean, you can throw a whole ass concert of Tupac in what's it called?
You remember that? That was such a long time ago.
So it's like you're able to do that. How can you not, invest in doing that? I feel because that should look legit.
Yeah.
I personally I like it. It goes with modern times. I don't know. Okay. I'm a huge fan of that, but I'm just like, why are you not investing into doing this in person. Like, this would be a fucking legit experience. Imagine all these people recording. I mean, it would suck for the people sitting on the ground, but anybody else that, you know, got the other seats around, it'd be perfect.
Yeah. I well, I don't know. I'm on the other
Maybe
side
just
of
me
it.
being high all the time. Why? Why do
Um I
I do?
think it's well, I like your idea about having it presented to us while we're there live, but I don't like it as a concept itself, because what's the point if it's just for us on that's watching TV? Like, nobody else can see that. Nobody.
Exactly. See,
Yeah.
that's what I think too. I'm just like, I understand, you know, for people watching at home, you want them to feel more like, you know, they're there, but it's like you don't feel like you're there because you don't see that.
Yeah, but even then, it's like half of the stuff they do is creepy, like that golden Roman Reigns that they have right before he comes out.
I honestly I like the Becky Lynch illustration. The Becky Lynch ones is so cute. I
I
like
don't like
them.
that one either.
I like it. Why?
I don't
She
like
gives me
it. I
like
think
summer vibes.
it just seems not needed. I don't know. It looks like you could just not have her. If you just take her out of it, I think it'd be all right.
Who else is on there? Oscar's is pretty cool. I think they started with Oscar, right? This whole thing.
I think so. I don't
I
know
think
when
that's
it exactly started, and then yeah, because
I
Riddle
remember
didn't have
Roman
one
had
for a
his.
while.
Yeah, then his was. It's like one day it's frogs, the other day it's birds, the other day is confetti. The
Yeah, nobody sees that. Like, if you're gonna have him not only flip his flip flops up in the air and then have fireworks, why not just do that? Just show us the fireworks.
I know, right?
I don't care about the fucking birds. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, man, I can't wait for the birds. Like, nobody's
I
doing
wonder what's
that.
gonna come out today.
God, like, oh, it's pink this time. Oh shit.
It's like, damn, that's so funny. Imagine that'd be hilarious. A poster. What is Riddle kicking off his feet
Yeah.
today?
It's like, we want
Oh, Lord.
frogs. It's like, God. All right, so everybody's talking about how they want Born Again HBK versus AJ Styles or Finn Balor. Like, recently, something came up during a Jericho podcast where he had Kurt Angle on, and Kurt Angle gave him like the highest compliment that you could probably give. What, maybe depending on who you like as a wrestler. He said that his career has surpassed Shawn Michaels.
Oh shit.
So what do you think about that?
Kurt Angle said that to Chris Jericho.
To Jericho.
I agree.
Okay.
Chris Jericho is a whole other fucking level now. Aside from WWE, a whole other level. Yes, right now he's storyline is shitty as hell. I don't like it. I feel like they should have just moved on already at this point where they're at right now. But I honestly do think that Chris Jericho has surpassed Shawn Michaels. I mean, Shawn Michaels is amazing. I'm not taking anything away from him. But Chris Jericho has just so many moments. You know, and it's not just title wise, things like that. It's just little things that you remember Jericho. Of course, everybody remembers Shawn Michaels. Don't get me wrong. You know, that will forever be an iconic name. He would always be an iconic person in wrestling. Now, even till, you know, years from now. But Chris Jericho is the past, present, and future. Like, you know, he's here now. He's going to be here tomorrow. He's going to be here next week. He's going to be here by next year, most likely. You know, so I don't think he's done. He's nowhere nearly done, because this guy shows that he can still take those bumps, and, you know, got tossed off of that MJF matches when he was going through those whole hurdles and shit. That dude could still take a beating. at his age and doing everything that he does, traveling, all of that, he carried the company into what it is now. So I personally do think Chris Jericho has surpassed him, but then again, he's on his own lane, just like Shawn Michaels is in his own lane. Undertaker is in his own lane. John Cena for toe tags, he's in his own lane. But definitely a really, 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 really high compliment. So
Yeah.
I agree with it. What do you agree with it? I mean,
No, I think what you said is fair. I think as far as just beyond wrestling, like character building as well, Jericho has always managed to stay relevant no matter where he's at or what he's doing, no matter what gimmick he has. The list of Jericho, great. Lionheart, great. Y2J, great. Everything he's touched has gotten over some way, somehow. I don't really like the new thing that he's doing right at the moment, but maybe it needs a minute to grow.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think as far as longevity and I don't know, accolades, stuff like that, I think he's done a lot more than Shawn Michaels. And I'm not taking anything away from Shawn Michaels. He's always Mr. WrestleMania. He always will have that great I still think one of the greatest matches of all time with him and Taker at WrestleMania 25. First ever ladder match with Razor Ramon, etc. He's done a lot, but I just feel like Chris Jericho has just done more in a way. I mean, I don't know. That just I don't know. Like I think that's a fair. No, I think that's a fair way of putting it.
I think
And
just when wrestling's dying, Chris Jericho comes and gives a CPR. Deadass.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a reason why they gave him the first AEW, being the inaugural champion. It's because it's Chris Jericho.
Exactly.
So it's like and as far as like I think it surpassed more than just wrestling. I mean, have you seen Shawn Michaels lately? He doesn't look like the Heartbreak Kid anymore.
Oh, definitely not. And they look like they're breaking his heart. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, he's completely different now. I understand, he has his role in NXT or had his role in NXT. I don't know how involved he is now. But I mean, he did do his part. He did it in the back scene, but again, it's not something that he was just being relevant in. People knew that he was in the back. People knew that he was, helping out Triple H with, the newer stars coming in and coming up and things like that. But it wasn't something that he positioned himself in to upbring, or because we all know he doesn't have the body for it now. I mean, not saying he's not the sexy boy, just I'm saying, he's older. His bones,
you can say it.
He's older. So, but definitely, Chris Jericho has definitely he's in his own league, and I mean, just I think he's doing that as well as what Undertaker was doing for 30 years. I feel like they're both there, Jericho and Taker, but of course, in their own realms. It's a multi-universe. That's what it's called, right? On Marvel, multi-universe. Multiverse.
Multiverse, I think. Yeah.
There we go. WWE is a multiverse. Definitely. That's how I used to feel about AEW when it first started. I'm like, there's so much going on here, but it's like they're all in their own world. I don't know.
That was the deal with Cody. They gave it its own name, the Codyverse. He was like literally in his own world. He wasn't with anybody. He wasn't with the Elite. He wasn't with Nightmare Factory. He was just Cody. And
management.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Things have changed in the last 3 years. Insane.
They really have. They really have. And I wanted to bring up Cody, but I feel like I do that every fucking show. Um, I don't really like Cody anymore. He's I liked him at first. I liked him in Ring of Honor, and then I don't know. I think he got too big headed after a while.
Yeah, it's the last name. It's the last name. I think he
Hello.
just has to. He has. I think he just feels like he has something to. He's gonna prove his last name and who he is. And I think at this point it's like, okay, we understand who you are. We know where you're coming from. Just do your thing. So I think it's just more of probably him just pushing of. I right now for me is like, oh, I'm coming back. I'm doing it for my dad and all of this, and it's like, but you've been doing it for your dad. You know
Yeah.
what's so different now that you have to push this idea. But I'm still a Cody fan. I still enjoy seeing Cody. Like I was telling Tony, I was like, you made me eat my words, because I didn't think he was going to be coming back for any main title. I thought, I was like, okay, maybe the US title, Intercontinental, especially because that has always, it's been his thing. So for me, I'm just like seeing him trying to go towards that main title.
Hmm.
I wonder if he's gonna get it, and if he does, I mean, it wouldn't be too surprising. But I don't know. I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan. I'm still hanging in there. I liked it. I just didn't like that Stardust. I think that was the only character I was not a fan of, because even when he had that mask, all of that, I was like, okay, I'm like Dashing Roads. Even that I was behind. Like I was like, okay, I see that. Okay, all right, you got a pretty face. Okay, like I was behind it. But when he became Stardust, I was like, what are we doing there? Like, what? I'm like, what's going on? So then when he left, and he kind of reclaimed his name, reclaimed himself, and he took back his wrestling life, and took control of it. I think that could have been the best thing that could have happened to him, because that, I feel, the growth that he had in AEW allowed him to come back and be able to claim the stand that he has right now, or what he's trying to claim.
Right.
But
No, he grew, but he made sure he used everybody before he did
mhm,
the Bullet Club, Kenny,
every
Bucks.
yeah,
I
all the
I don't
names.
know. Yeah.
I know. Damn. Talking about the Bucks, I'm excited to see Bucks. I'm excited to see the Bucks. I think I've seen Rhodes and Bucks one time, in ROH right before, I think like a year before AEW started.
Yeah.
And they were so young. They look so different. They look so different at that time than they do now. I'm like, damn, those long road trips really kicking in now.
Yeah. It's like you could see the dads coming out of them
I
sometimes.
know.
They
They
got
look like
the
senioritas now.
Yeah, they don't look anything like the drawings that they have where they have like they're
No.
fucking ripped with the six pack. No. They look like a fan with a headband on.
They look like
Well, damn. We've been doing this for an hour now. And I think we honestly can call this a show. Thank you for coming on, Liz. This has been really, really fun, actually. So,
It was fun.
yeah, not that there was any doubt it wasn't going to be fun, but I'm just saying, like, uh, before we go, though, what I like to do with most of my guests is have them plug their social media, stuff like that. So, to the 5 people out there listening, go ahead and plug your stuff.
Alrighty, well, again, Heel.Liz. So on IG and TikTok, I'm at Heel.Liz. On my YouTube channel, you can find me just as Heel space. There's no nothing, Liz. And then aside from that, every Sunday you guys can catch me live at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time I think 1 p.m. Eastern time on All Things Wrestling Podcast. And our IG is ATW underscore podcast for life. So I hope you guys follow us. You guys, I hope everybody enjoyed this talk. Again, like he said, we didn't know what to expect. This is our first sit down, just me and him. So,
Yeah.
but thank you so much, Dave, for having me. I really appreciate it. And this was fun. So definitely, I would love to come back again if you'd have me.
I would love for you to come back on. Before we go, since my chat's being super slow, Toe says, "Go follow. She really hates Cena," and then exclamation point.
I
All
see
right.
it. No, stop.
Well, we're gonna end it here, guys. Have a good rest of your night. Enjoy NXT 2.0, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.